What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one, I want to talk about what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down the news that's coming out for Tesla. That's very important. And why this close for Tesla is going to be very important as well, as Tesla's in a very, very critical place. But before I break into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. As you guys know, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500 into the account, you are guaranteed 20 free stocks. Deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 free stocks. And the offer ends very soon. Anyways, when looking at Tesla, as you guys can see, we're still trying to respect this channel. We're still on a nice downtrend, but we're going to be watching to see if Tesla could close in this channel or not. And I'm going to be watching resistance at 192 to see how well Tesla could kind of like hold in this level. Watch support towards 190, not to mention a 188 below that. And as of right now, despite this, Tesla is still on a nice downtrend. It's still downtrending, still not looking the strongest. So we want to be watching this very, very carefully. Now, for the overall market, we're actually seeing a lot of stocks respecting downtrends from SPY to the IWM to Microsoft, and the list goes on. A lot of stocks are showing some weakness for now as we're approaching Nvidia's earnings. So I believe that we have two very important catalysts for the market coming up. I just wanted to give you guys a good heads up about this. So, firstly, as you know, Nvidia has its earnings tomorrow after the market closes. That's going to be very important. It's going to shake the whole market. But on top of this, when the market is going to be open tomorrow, we also have the FOMC minutes. So most of the data that comes out is going to be very minor. We also have a couple of Fed speakers like Bostic and Bowman. But then at 2 p.m., we have a big piece of data, the FOMC minutes. This is going to be key for the markets for tomorrow. And this is just your very early heads up about it. Why is it so important? Because it's going to give us more insights about what the Fed is doing and may affect the current Fed projections. That's going to be very important to watch for. Now, when it comes to Tesla, I'm seeing a couple of headlines coming out. Mexico is pushing Tesla to start the Gigafactory construction soon, but it hesitates. So we're actually seeing a lot of different views of this. Right now, the government of Mexico is saying that it wants Tesla to start construction to help, fill a lot of jobs, to help bring in more and more infrastructure. But at the same time, Tesla is in a very, very interesting place because Elon Musk and the others were saying that it could take longer than expected. There was also some talks about delays for the Mexican Gigafactory. I was reading about that earlier. But for now, we'll see how things go. Nonetheless, I do believe this is going to come out soon. It may not take like another couple of years. That could happen much sooner than what a lot of people are anticipating. And it's going to be very, very useful for them. To start construction, we're actually seeing about $135 million worth of incentives for the factory, which is great news for Tesla. And we're going to be looking to see when they really start construction and if we get any like dates or estimates. So far so good. There's been a lot of talk by Elon Musk about how what they're essentially trying to do is just resemble the Shanghai Gigafactory, and they're going to try to hire a lot of Chinese engineers to help make it possible. So there's been a lot of talk about that. That could be very, very useful for Tesla to take advantage of, uh, you know, of different outsourcing mechanisms. Different people around the world specialize in different things, so getting them to work together could be very, very useful. Many U.S. government officials weren't as happy about that because of geopolitical issues, but it is what it is. That's like a story for another day. As of right now, we're seeing more and more incentives for Tesla to deploy more infrastructure with the Mexican government and to keep on working on the electrical work that's necessary to get that gigafactory done. So it's a good update that came out. There's also some news about this right here. Tesla is improving its navigation software with the next software update that just came out. It's going to identify things like accidents and road closures and collisions, which is very, very good. Now, that's something that could be more useful for them, and it's going to give them more expansions for other places like that. They're going to be adding like the Spanish language as well, give accident marks, red lights, speed, camera displays in China, all sorts of things like that, which is very useful for drivers so they know what's ahead of them. So give them a good heads up. It's a good update for Tesla, and that's something I just wanted to note with the next FSD update. Now, with that being said, let's break down what else is going on right here with Tesla. So Tesla's trying to push with the market a little bit, but be careful with close. That's going to matter more. Does Tesla close right here? I don't see Tesla just rocketing from the rest of the day. I just see it kind of like remaining in a very, very tight range within this channel. I think we're going to close within this channel, but we'll have to see exactly where that is. At the very end of the day, that's when things become more volatile. We'll see if Tesla could hold 190 and if Tesla could try to even get above 192.5. As of right now, we're just kind of shuffling in the 192s and we'll see what Tesla does. But for now, don't forget the bigger trend is still bearish. We're still on a downtrend on Tesla. It's still making lower highs and lower lows. So we'll see how Tesla does. We also have some big catalysts from the FOMC minutes and other things like that tomorrow. So very, very big day tomorrow. We'll see how all of this affects Tesla. That's going to determine if Tesla's about to get a big bounce and if this potential flag is going to play out. I know we're actually very close to this low, so it's not looking as likely, but it's still a possibility if Tesla gets a breakout or not. So just wait and see how it goes, and we'll be very patient with Tesla for the time being. Watch supply and demand, and just know that Tesla's on a downtrend, but this close is going to be very important. Let's see if Tesla could close above its key support. How about for SPY? Now, SPY got a big rejection starting on Friday. It's been downtrending. We hit this liquidity zone. We hit the 494s, it got bought back up. So 494 is going to be key. We'll be watching to see where SPY closes. It's getting back above 496, but please be careful because we have to see it close above 494. If we lose 494, a bigger drop is going to be coming. If we close above it, there's still some hope for SPY to rebound and hold up. And then with that being said, watch the 496s for where it tends to shuffle and watch 498 as resistance. Now we have a possible cup and handle like structure that could be developing. It's not looking as, I would say, clean, but it's still a possibility. There's also a possibility that this is just a double top rejection and this thing is just going to continue to sink. So basically, we started way down here in the 480s, came up, first top, second top, and we're just going to make our way down to the 480s. That's the more bearish case. I'm still open minded to those. Right now, SPY is trying to hold around the 496s. We'll see if we could close above 494. I think we most likely will close above that, but then we'll see what happens after that. So be careful. We have some big catalysts. We'll see if this causes SPY to bounce or not. So always be open minded just to be safe. Now, when it comes to Nvidia got this triple top leg formation, got this big rejection, losing 725. And I warned everyone in my earlier videos if this happened, expect a big drop. And we got not just a test of 707, but we came all the way down below our trend line. So Nvidia is testing this trend line around 693-ish, so very close to that area. We'll see how Nvidia does right here. If we break this trend line, 700 plus is coming. If we fail to break, we're going to be rejecting again, and we could be testing the 670s all over again. So right now, watch support at 687 and then 680 below that, followed by 675. Watch resistance around 693. If we break that, 700 is coming next. As of right now, Nvidia is kind of just shuffling. It's fighting this resistance, but the overall trend is still bearish on Nvidia. It's still downtrend. Just look at this. It's just been downtrend for the last couple of days, starting on Friday, downtrend, just continued for now. So Nvidia is looking kind of weak approaching its earnings. We'll see where this thing closes. I'm hoping we try to close above where we currently are, or very close to 690. And then don't forget, guys, although the close is important, it's not everything. What matters a lot more is going to be the earnings that are going to be coming out. So I'll be waiting for that. And then last but not least, we have just a few others like the QQQ and Aapl. QQQ is on a downtrend, barely holding support. I told everyone that if we lost 425, watch 423.8, we actually bounced off 423.5, so just about 20 cents off from what I was talking about, or about 30 cents. Now it's trying to rebound a bit. We're at 425 again. We'll see if we try to continue pushing. Next key resistance is very close to 427, so there's some room for this to go a little higher. For support, watch 425 and then 423.8 to 423.5. I think that the QQQ could try to rebound just slightly, but I don't think it's going to be that strong because the overall trend is still quite bearish. So because of Nvidia and the others, we could attempt to push a little bit, but it might not be that strong. And we're going to be watching to see how we react to this downtrend. We're still on a strong downtrend, so just be very careful. For Apple stock, Apple is also looking kind of weak. Apple has been downtrending nonstop for many, many days. There's just one little pop off some bullish news that came out besides that. It's been downtrending. And watch 180 is support at 178. Watch resistance at 181.36 and 182.5. Overall, the trend is still bearish. We're barely holding 180, and we'll see how well this holds. But the trend is still looking kind of weak, so be very careful. It's not in the best of states. So that being said, watch 180 on Apple. It's barely holding support, looking relatively weak, and we'll see how it does as well. For a couple more, let me just go over a few more just for fun. For SMCI or Super Micro, which a lot of people like to look at, I told you all to wait and see where this thing has based. As you guys can see, it's trying to rebound a bit, but it's not that strong because the whole market is sinking. And this was due to cool off after pumping so much. So we're not officially there yet. We're very close to the 200 EMA. Watch resistance at 780 and then 800. Watch support at the current low, 700, not to mention 655. It's trying to push a little bit, but it's not that strong. It's still on a downtrend. There's no sign of a trend reversal just yet for it to break out again. We're not ready yet, but we'll just have to wait and see. For a couple more like Palantir, let's just go over this. We called some downside. That's what we got. We're at 22.7 for the low. We could sink a little bit lower. We're still on a strong downtrend. Watch resistance at 23.5 and then 24, but the trend still shows we couldn't get closer to 22 flat. So we're still bearish looking. It's rebounding a little bit, but still bearish overall. Russell 2000, we called out 198. We actually are getting close to 197. That's the 200 DMA. We could approach that. Still looking kind of weak. Microsoft is trying to rebound just a little bit, but don't forget we still have a big head and shoulders that's still right here, and that suggests that we could actually drop a little bit lower, close to about 395. So it could rebound a little bit and then make its way back down. So be careful with the stock. There's still a risk of some downside for later. For AMD, we called some downside. We broke the 200 and now we're barely at 165. So if we continue to reject off 165, 159 is likely going to be tested. There could be more downside as well. That's it for the main ones. We'll see what happens to the VIX. We're just waiting for some more data to come out, and everything else is just kind of like flats the way it is. Amazon, I do want to warn you about Amazon. There's a possible head and shoulders like structure right here. We have like a left shoulder, a head and a right shoulder. If we lose 164, this thing could start sinking towards 160 flat. So there could be a more downside coming. So be careful with Amazon. Same thing with Meta. With this head and shoulders like structure, we could see this actually drop more. If we lose 468, watch it come down towards 465 and 460. So it is looking a little bit weaker, but we'll see how it does. The market is attempting to rebound just slightly, but it's still on a downtrend. So don't turn overly bullish quite yet. So let's just wait and see where we close. Let's see if SPY could close above 494. I think it will, but I just want to be patient just to be safe. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Have a great day. Remain calm, cool, and collected. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and peace out.